I paid $6,400 for my brother's baby shower, then got a text, +1 not approved. Just send gifts. Mom added, you can't buy family. So I smiled, canceled every payment I covered for them, and by morning, chaos hit. So, there I was, just chilling at home and folding laundry when my phone buzzed at 10:34 p.m. I glanced at it, and it was the family group chat. We've got my mom, my brother Alex, his fiancée Lily, and me, the whole baby shower planning crew. But there was this random message in there. It just said, just send gifts. I was like, wait, what? Then, a minute later, Mom sends a follow-up, you can't afford real family, so you buy us. Ouch. Instead of feeling upset, I just went numb, like a static radio station. I sat there thinking, wow, all this money I've sent, $6,400 just this past month alone for baby shower stuff. I was covering their rent, Lily's student loans, and even Alex's Jeep payments. But that text? It flipped a switch. I felt oddly calm as I went to my laptop and started hitting pause and cancel on all those payments. I messaged the group, got it. I'll just send gifts, and nobody said a thing back. I hit the hay early and honestly slept like a baby. The next morning at 7:15, my phone was blowing up with 22 missed calls and 11 messages. The family chat was in meltdown, rent didn't go through, Alex's car payment was late, and Lily's loans were behind. I didn't bother looking at the details. I just sipped my morning coffee and waited because I knew they'd soon come knocking. Sure enough, at 7:30, the door camera showed Dad's car in the driveway. The door pounding was like a distant drum, but I just finished my coffee feeling like I'd finally broken free from all that financial drama they had me wrapped up in. With all that noise cut off, my world got quieter, almost peaceful. No more constant "can you pay this" messages. But, as quiet as it got, memories started creeping in. It all started when I was 20 and just got my first job. Dad called, stressed about Mom's meds being too expensive, so I sent them $500 without a second thought. Then it was Lily needing help with college because her loans fell short. She promised to pay me back, but it just kept going. Alex needed a down payment for his Jeep, I paid it, and then he quit his job. Oh, and that condo Mom and Dad couldn't afford after Dad's business flopped? I covered that too. Every month, money just vanished from my account to theirs with barely a "thank you." Just the occasional "you paid, right?" Like I was their personal ATM. The years turned into a blur of expenses and excuses. Alex's car breaking down, Lily's tuition overdue, Mom's meds getting pricier, it never ended. And the thank yous? Non-existent. I got moments like when Mom threw Lily a birthday bash, and I footed the whole bill. They plastered photos all over Facebook with "what a perfect family day" captions but no mention of me, just because I was always working. And for Dad's retirement? After 35 years in sales, I went big and got him that luxury SUV he always dreamed of. At the family dinner, I handed him the keys. So there I was, giving a speech about working hard. I stood up, raised my glass, and chuckled. Let's toast to my son, who thinks buying a car will finally earn him my respect. The room erupted in laughter. My smile stayed put, but inside, I felt a pang. I slipped out without a word, leaving the car behind. I told myself it didn't matter. But it did. What really hit home were those little digs and casual cruelties. Like that time Lily posted a pic of her new handbag captioned, "When you know how to hustle." I had bought it after she cried about having nothing to wear. Or when Alex bragged in front of his friends about his successful side gig, "I funded that startup." And Mom? She'd post vacation pics I paid for with captions like "family is everything." Everything except me, apparently. When I tried to step back a bit, their true colors showed. Instead of asking or caring, they got nasty. "Stop acting like you're better than us," Dad once snapped over the phone. "You have a good job because we sacrificed," Lily sneered. "Oh, poor you, a successful manager. Want a medal?" And Alex's favorite, "Money doesn't make you family, bro." But they sure loved cashing those checks. I couldn't shake off the text, "You can't afford real family, so you buy us." I wasn't buying them, I was being used. At first, I wasn't even angry, I felt ashamed. Ashamed for letting them use me for so long, for thinking this was normal, for turning myself into their personal ATM just to hear them call me family. But not anymore. Not after I cut them off and really remembered everything. I opened my laptop and started gathering evidence, old bank statements, PayPal transfers, text messages, years of them using me. Then I got a ping from Lily. Another post. Some people just forget who their real family is when they get money. It's sad. Her followers showered her with sympathy. "You deserve better, Lily. Some people only care about themselves. I almost replied but stopped. I wasn't the only one who could make this public. So I started saving screenshots, forwarding messages to myself, creating a folder. I was getting ready, and they had no clue. For 2 days, everything was silent. No messages, no calls, just an eerie calm. Then today, I was in the middle of a workout at the gym. The barbell's cold iron pressed against my palms, muscles burning, sweat dripping down my face. I was free for a moment. But then I heard them. Loud, angry voices I knew all too well. There they were, Mom with tears streaming, clutching her purse like a lifeline, Dad red-faced with clenched fists, Lily with wild eyes and smeared makeup, and Alex, arms crossed, glaring like a storm. People stopped what they were doing, a woman on a treadmill even took out her earbuds, and a trainer leaned against the wall, watching. "Are you happy now?" Lily's voice cut through the air. "We're struggling because of you." I forced a laugh, cold and sharp. "I didn't destroy you," I said. "I just stopped funding your show." Dad's voice boomed, and I felt it in my chest. "We're your family. You don't turn your back on family." I wiped the sweat from my brow. "I didn't turn my back. I just stopped letting you ride on mine." Murmurs spread through the gym. "What's going on?" Someone whispered. Another person started recording on their phone. "Stop being dramatic," Mom pleaded desperately. "All we ever did was love you." I stepped forward, feeling rage boil beneath my skin. "Love? Is that what you call this? Was it love when you guilted me into paying rent, lied about Lily's tuition, or posted vacation pics without me because I was just the wallet?" Lily screeched, "Stop pretending you're the victim here." But I laughed louder. "No, Lily, I'm free. Free from your endless whining and constant lies. You wanted my money, not me." Dad jabbed a finger at my chest. "You never respected your own family." But the trainer stepped in. "Sir, you need to leave." "Oh, of course." Dad turned to the growing crowd. "See this? He thinks he's above us, always has." A woman near the squat rack shook her head. "Wow, this is wild." Lily's voice broke, desperation leaking through. "Cutting us off doesn't make you powerful. You're just a lonely, miserable man with no real family." I smiled, pulling out my phone. "Let's talk about family," I said, swiping through my gallery. I hit play, and her voice filled the room, loud and clear. "Don't worry, I'll get him to pay for it. He's naive. Always has been." If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more crazy real-life stories happening around you. So, here's the situation. We were all gathered around, and I decided to spill the beans. I told them I would say it was for school if anyone asked. No worries there because he never actually checks. Suddenly, Lily's face turned as white as a ghost, Mom gasped dramatically with her hand over her mouth, and Dad's fists got all tight and angry. I swiveled the screen in their direction, showing them the mountain of evidence I had collected, records, messages, receipts, the whole 9 yards. I made it clear, "Want to keep pushing me? We can take this all the way." Lily got furious and tried to lunge at me, but Alex held her back. She kept yelling, "Liar." So, I raised my voice too. The entire gym was now watching. "You called me your bank, your private ATM. Didn't even care about me as long as I was footing the bill for everything." Dad, in a fit of rage, shouted something about suing me, with spit flying everywhere. I calmly leaned in closer and said coldly, "Go ahead, but I'm done with all the lies and the money. I don't owe you anything anymore." Mom broke down, crying on a bench, blaming me for tearing the family apart. "No, Mom," I said quietly. "I'm just saving myself." I walked out amid all the whispers and side glances, never looking back. My phone buzzed with a text from a number I didn't recognize. The text read, "Wow, that was something. Got it all on video. Want it?" I couldn't help but grin and replied, "Send it." This was just the beginning of getting my life back on track. A couple of days later, I was sitting in a lawyer's office, which felt more like a sterile, cold courtroom. Across from me was Mr. Graham, this tough-as-nails attorney who seemed like he'd seen it all. He meticulously went through the pile of documents I had given him, bank statements, text messages, photos, pretty much the story of my life laid out in black and white. After a long pause, he leaned back and said something like, "I've seen scams and fraud, but this, your family treating you like a cash machine, it's unreal." I told him I wanted every cent back. With a sharp gaze, he assured me, "We can do that. Given your evidence, we can press charges for unjust enrichment and fraud." Hearing the word manipulation hit me hard because that's exactly what it had been all along. Not love or family, just manipulation. Fast forward 2 days, and the first letter went out, demanding repayment. I had detailed every penny they took from me: $12,000 in rent for my parents, $16,500 for Lily's student loans that never went toward tuition, $8,000 for Alex's Jeep, which was now a totaled mess, and $6,400 for some extravagant baby shower. A grand total of $42,900. This wasn't just about the money. It was about reclaiming parts of myself they had taken. Within 48 hours, panic had set in. Mom was the first to call, her voice shaky. "Sweetheart, I just got this letter. What's going on? You can't be serious." In a calm tone, I replied, "Mom, you've got 30 days to pay me back. If you don't, it's going to court." Her voice cracked with desperation. "We're family. You can't do this." My response was steady: "I didn't do this. I just stopped you from doing it to me." Then Dad called, no begging, just pure anger. "Ungrateful child," he spat. "After all we've done for you." I laughed incredulously and asked him to name one thing they did for me that wasn't for their own benefit. His silence was deafening, so I hung up. Lily sent a bunch of angry, chaotic texts, calling me selfish and saying I was ruining her life. I sent one text back: "Go ahead, tell everyone. I've got the receipts, literally." By the end of the week, things were in chaos. They tried ignoring the first letter, hoping I'd drop it, but then the second letter showed up, a formal warning before a lawsuit. That's when they cracked. Mom called, crying and begging to talk it over. "I'll explain everything," she pleaded. I cut her off. "You used me. You lied. Now, you pay me back." Her sobbing continued with, "Do you want to destroy us over money?" I replied, "I'm not your son anymore. I'm a victim, but not now." Dad tried a different tactic. "Look, you're smart, a businessman now, right? We can make a deal, drop this, and we'll apologize." I told him I wasn't interested in apologies. Just my money. The desperation snowballed. Alex listed his Jeep for a quick sale, and Lily started working double shifts at the bar she used to mock me for working at during college. Dad looked into refinancing their home, but their credit was shot without me. I stayed silent, watching them squirm, knowing they were trapped in a corner they had backed themselves into. They never saved or planned, just assumed I'd always be their safety net. Finally, a message came from their lawyer, asking for mediation, a desperate plea to settle out of court. They weren't afraid of losing the cash, they were scared of losing face. I agreed, but on my terms. Walking into that mediation room felt like stepping onto a battleground. Mom was there, trembling and red-eyed, while Dad just looked angry and frustrated. So there we were, sitting around this table. No one dared to look at me. Lily looked like she was about to explode, her makeup all smudged. And of course, Alex was nowhere to be found, probably hiding away because he was so embarrassed. The lawyer kicked things off. "My clients are willing to offer $10,000 to settle this." I nearly busted out laughing. 10 grand? They owe me 4 times that amount. Lily was having none of it and slammed her fist on the table. "You're ruining our lives. We're your family, for crying out loud," she yelled. I leaned in and shot back, "Family doesn't bleed you dry, lie to you, or laugh while ripping you off." Finally, Dad raised his head and snapped, "You think you're better than us, but you're just a lonely, bitter guy." I retorted, "I'd rather be lonely than drained by parasites like you." The lawyer tried to calm things down. "Let's keep it professional," he said. But I wasn't having it. "This is professional," I interrupted. "They owe me $42,900, and I will get every dime." Dad's knuckles were turning a ghostly white. "You won't see a penny," he growled. I slid a document across the table and said, "Fine, then I'll see you in court, and everyone will know what kind of family you really are." The room got so quiet, it felt like it shrunk. The lawyer whispered something to them, and they finally gave in. Mom looked defeated, Lily glared daggers at me, and Dad just appeared old and worn out. But they signed, agreeing to pay back the full amount in monthly chunks. If they missed even one payment, I could grab their assets. As we left, Lily spat at me, "We can't believe you're doing this to us." I just smiled. 2 weeks later, the first payment rolled in, $2,000. It was barely a dent in what they owed me, but it was a start. They tried calling, texting, leaving voicemails. I ignored every single one. I changed my number, ditched them on social media, and watched their world spiral from a comfy distance. Their sad Facebook posts became a bit of a joke, Lily complaining about toxic people, Dad ranting about fake family, and Mom posting Bible quotes about forgiveness. I didn't bite. I stopped caring. Getting my money back was just part of it. It was more about taking control of my life. With every payment they sent over, I felt the relief. No more desperate messages or manipulative texts. The quiet was like a drug. I found myself smiling for no reason, hit the gym without that heavy feeling of shame, and ran until my lungs burned with something pure. Each month, my phone would ping, another payment coming in. They couldn't miss a beat, it would mean court time if they did. In the beginning, they tried adding little notes to the payments, "This isn't fair" or "We're family." I just ignored it. They were just empty words from people who once treated me like an ATM. One rainy Thursday, another $2,000 landed in my account, this time with no message. They were out of excuses and, finally, out of my life. I dismissed it without a second thought. Suddenly, the city felt alive. I strolled down streets I'd never really noticed, chilled in quiet parks, hit up new cafes. I even signed up for a coding class. It was always on my wish list but never had time. One day, while sipping coffee at a local shop, an old buddy, Mark, tapped me on the shoulder. "Dude, you look different, happier. What's up?" he asked. I grinned. "I stopped bankrolling people who didn't give a damn about me," he chuckled. "That's cold." "Nah," I sipped my coffee, "that's freedom." That night, I logged into my old bank account, the one they used like their personal piggy bank. I clicked close account. A warning popped up, "Are you sure? This can't be undone." Heck yeah, I was sure. One click, and it was history. A clean slate. I grabbed my jacket, stepped out into the cool night air, feeling lighter with every step. I stopped by a little cafe, ordered a cappuccino, and just watched as the rain danced on the window. People were laughing, couples holding hands. Life was moving on, and so was I. In losing that so-called family, I wasn't losing anything. Just a burden I was shedding. Sometimes, in the dead of night, I wonder if there was a way to save us. Maybe there's an alternate story where we're not strangers now. But I know deep down, letting go was the only way to save myself.